SICC, support independent content creators.
1, 2, bring the lube, y'all. Now bring it. What's up? Welcome. Let me know how my audio is, but welcome everybody. Happy late? Well, I'm gonna say early Sunday. I'm still trying to hold on to Saturday. But what's up? I want to do something. I want to just kind of open this up just in case someone would like to click the link. Like to do this. Okay, because my word ain't golden, but I'm just here to speak about my experience and how I heard the word trade used throughout life. And I think I have some inside perspective, right? Being SGL, so let's get it. This is what I want to do, just in case. I don't know that song, just in case. Mama Diaz sang that on the karaoke. Just in case. Do I have it? Here it goes. Just in case.
But the flow is like incest with degenerates, fucking stupid and fine of interest as I interject. I'm moonwalking my boots, footsteps when I'm on set. Smooth predator boarding the mothership with conquest, cause I'm next. I'm sorry if I'm too witty and a screw loose, don't try to fix something to do with me as I cruise the beat with fluency of what's true to be. And truthfully, I miss the way that it used to be. You say you gifted, had to prove it, B. Set a date, step up to the plate and seize opportunity. Let the viewers of the music see me pay hip-hop gratuity as I chew the beat, influencing UMCs with microphone fever. Married to the game with little intention to leave her. As long
Okay. So I'm looking into the chat. Tracy, let me know if my static, if it improved or if it's still like staticky. I'm just waiting for the response. That's it. I'm good. On sound? Am I clear now or no? Oh, now I'm not hearing what she's hearing. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be able to approve on that, but it sounds crackly like popcorn. God, what I'll do is keep my earbuds in, and if I have to repeat something, I will. Like if I feel like it's real messed up or something. But I am catching what you guys are hearing. Let's see. It's crackly and poppy. Okay. Snack crackle pop. Yeah, I hear you. All right. I do have a question though. And I could do this with the let me see how many people are in the chat. Let me do this real quick. It's a quick little impromptu poll I would like to do. On my last live, I told you how I felt like the results were skewed. So I want to do this just with this small group. It's a nice sample size. Let me see. Um, one, two, three, three. Okay, I'm saying three. Let me see. The last type one, two, three, four. I'm seeing four, right? Zero. Rodney and Vibrant. Yeah, from you four people, just from you four. Um, if you choose your attractions, please place a number one in the chat and do that. That's if you choose them. If you do not choose your attractions and what you find to be physically attractive to you, press a two. I would like to do this with the people that's here. I know these people give their own candid, honest response. Yeah, it's seven. You're right on Viber. It's seven watching, but they're not going to drop down to necessarily cooperate with me in this. Okay, I'll repeat it, Zero. If you if you choose your attractions, right? I think I messed the question up. So here goes. If you choose your attractions and what you find to be physically attractive in other people, if you choose that, leave a one in the chat. If you do not choose that, if you feel like it's not in your choice what you find to be physically attractive to you, right? Then leave the two. So this is what I'm trying to determine. Okay, I'm seeing zero likeness, but we have about four people, so let's get it. Okay, I'm seeing Tracy. I'm not mad at you. I wanted to bring you up on Vibrant Law too. I'm not mad at you, but the only issue I have, you do not click links to explicate nothing. So I feel like there's going to be a slight in conversation from me at microphone, from you to chat typing. But I respect that you saying you feel like it's both. But I would love to know like what is your choice process? and what you find to be physically attractive. Because like the way I operate, the way I'm hardwired, I can find something to be physically attractive to me and not pursue it, and not to want to be in bed with it, or not want to be in a relationship with it. But we're talking about physical attractiveness, you know. Let's say whatever your idea of an attractive mate is, right? Vibrant, and put them in a porno, right? So they're your ideal physical attractiveness, right? Body wise, face wise, whatever, and they're naked, right? They're in um a porno or something, let's say, with some type of video or something like that. I don't choose what I like. If it gets me hot, like, and me watching it, I don't feel like I have any choice in that. Like if my dick happens to rise and seeing something, like I don't feel like I have a choice in that. I only feel like I have a choice. Like if I pursued it, that's when the choice begins. If I say, hey, I want to date that, well, I want that in my life with me. I want to marry that. I want to propose to that. I want to get engaged to that. That's when choices begin. But in just what I find to be physically attractive, that's not how I'm hardwired. But I do respect that everybody has a different perspective on this. But that's what I wanted to see, who would come out and say otherwise. So thank you for showing yourself, but appreciate that. But let me read what you're saying too. So no way I'm clicking that link. Of course it's not, because you scary out here. But oh wait a minute, that leads me to another impromptu question right after this, and then I'm gonna get into the trade. Because she says no way I'm clicking that link. Okay, so I believe for me it isn't always a physical attraction, and therefore I don't. Oh, okay, but then X that out. I understand that don't apply to the question then. So I'm only talking about in instances where there is physical attraction on Vibrant. But I agree with you. And you said it always isn't a physical attraction, but then what happens in the very beginning stages? Because that means other people have a one up on you. Because most of their attractions do start with physical attraction. But when you walk into a room and you see someone across the room, you don't see how caring they are and how thoughtful they are and all the emotional things that we learn later on once we interact with that person. So so what do you see walking in that door, to that hall or that ball that you're attending, from like, what is getting your attention? Like, if it, if physical attraction isn't the first phase of drawing you in to a person, like that's there in the early part for me, the way I'm hardwired. Yeah, like I don't mean it's gonna maintain itself. Like I can see you. I pointed that out the other day. I was in Tracy's chat, and she mentioned Cherry Boom, and I wanted to be nice. And Tracy was just praising Cherry Boom for how attractive she is, which she is. But I couldn't help but to say, but she's ugly as fuck in the inside. So yeah, like it doesn't always maintain itself, but like it is like a first thing I believe as a man that I see from across the room without conversation, without knowing, oh, she has a beautiful voice, or she's articulate, or I fell in love with her mind. Like if I do come to fall in love with someone's mind, that comes much later, not upon walking into a crowded room at a ball or party. Let me see. Let me look down. 0. Oh, let me check the use. Tracy, that you Tracy the other night on this. That verbal. Who is the verbal person? I'm not sure. I'm like most people, so I probably don't count. No, I'm sure you do count, but for the sake of the question, I just want you to like hone in on your experiences where physical attraction was a thing, and not the experiences where it wasn't. And then like I think it'd be more in line. But that's it for that one. The other question, damn, let me go back and read that because that's the thing that made me think of it. Oh, I'm not clicking the link. It was based on that one. Not clicking the link. Oh, here it is. So, you developed a YouTube shit with someone on here, and it lasted for as long as it lasted. It went a while. Um, you built a good rapport, or whatever. To you, from your perspective, one day, just out of the blue, the person in which you had this YouTube shit, um, you were convinced like that they were like distancing themselves from you, and you made an attempt to kind of, I don't know if I want to say reach out, but you made an attempt to try to make yourself available just to confirm if they were truly distancing themselves. And you do the little testing and they fail, right? And so now they fail. So you like, okay, so like I'm convinced, like this person just stopped fucking with me. So then you publicly air everything out, right? You publicly air all this shit out, and you say, "Look, I don't know much because this person haven't um, told me much, but I'm gonna tell you guys all that I know." And okay, so you fill everybody in on that shit. My question is, at the end of it, if this person that you build a YouTube shit do not care to explain to you what the reason is, do you sweat it or do you not sweat it? If you're a person who's just not going to sweat it, like because the person just don't want to be forthcoming and communicate to you what the real reason is, put a 1 in the chat. Okay, I'm looking, and I'm not seeing any feedback. So I'm thinking my first. I'm trying to remember what I said. I can't always rewind this shit. So I said, if you are is a type of person not to sweat anything like that, I believe. I think that was my 1. If you're not to sweat it, put a 1 in the chat. But if you are to sweat something like that, put a 2 in the chat. Like in other words, like if you would still like pursue trying to find out from a person that's not being forthcoming to you. Let me refresh. Okay, I'm seeing 0 likeness. Thank you so much. Anyone else? Because I'm sure he's not the only one around. What's up, D-Chat? How are you? I was just asking some impromptu poll questions. D-Chat, the last the people had spoken poll result that I took from my community wall. It was, I mean, I still went over it. This was this morning, but I felt like it was skewed. So I'm just kind of asking some impromptu ones here without putting it on the board where it can't be skewed, because I know these people are gonna give their honest thoughts. You know. So I'm only okay. No, I'm seeing Rodney exactly. Like I don't think that I was sweated. Like you know what I mean. Like sure, like I value what it is that I build with people, but you can only do what the fuck you can do. Like I'm tired of like feeling bogged down like with other people's parts, right? You only can do your part. You know what I mean? Like you can't like if somebody don't want to tell you shit, right? And I'm not saying I never came into that, but I'm thinking like this is why I'm so confident speaking on it, because like I've been there like with people who I was acquainted with. um, yeah, like who didn't like want to say, and I'm like, well, what? Okay, so what can I do besides just respect the distance and keep on moving? And that's what I did. And I didn't stop. And that's what it was. So, oh, I'm cracking still. Thank you, Rodney. Hope I can fix this. Let me I'm gonna go in and out and see if there's a difference. hopefully this made the difference. We'll see. Uh, Let me get my AirPods. I'm still hearing crackling, but I don't know. Yeah, I'll just try to keep myself close to my device, and I'll try to keep it as short as possible and get into this trade shit. Hey, welcome, random. So wait a minute. Do I want to start with the woman trade? Okay, yeah, I do, because I think I'm gonna forget. So recently, here's something recently that I ran into in the sector. You guys probably came into it. There was a woman, I don't want to name her, but someone kept just calling her out because they knew her tea. Some people are real, I guess, private to an extreme, even regarding things that they said in the past and put out. But because we're like in 2022, I don't know if it's because sectors have merged and like now we have a different audience. But like some people that said things like in 2018 don't care to say it like before today, like this new audience in 2022. And there's some people that were like free just about their bisexuality, about the fact that they weren't like exactly hetero and shit like that. And recently, this woman, she got in a panel and she was talking about her life, I guess, as current. Maybe she has a current man. Maybe today she's just pursuing men. And she just, she was going on, and there was this one sister. She was trying to be respectful, but she kept challenging her. I guess because shit was conflicting, like with what she knew. Okay, she one of them historians that be logging shit, and I'm just like, no, I do remember you saying this shit. So the woman just carrying on, and I think the woman said, you're kind of talking like you're heterosexual or straight. I'm putting it in my own words. She said you're talking like you're heterosexual or straight, and she reminded the woman there like of her past and like how she'd been open and said anything, and she was like, no, 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 and this was the woman's response was, and she she totally got away with it. I don't know if it's because the woman didn't want to further challenge her. Sometimes you get what you need right then and there, and you don't have to further challenge. But it was the audience. I just know that it could not have been me on the panel. Like when I say shit that's legitimate and valid, I have people around here trying to chase me, looking for brownie stripes and cool points. But she actually said, well, I don't consider myself bisexual because I would never be with a woman in a relationship. And I was like, okay, I see the stunt she pulled there. Like that's a whole stunt. What she just did was redefine in her own way with orientation is composed of, and it has nothing to do with whether you would choose to marry one, propose to one, engage to one, love one. It don't even mean that you would have to love one, to be honest. If all throughout your adult existence you have an active sex life with the same sex, I don't care how deep you will go. I don't care whether you will never move in the same spot. That simply means you're probably not comfortable at showing it, or the attachment that comes involved with it. But and you don't have to have that. All you have to do is physically be attracted to one and and especially be having sex. But you don't even have to have sex with them. This is why there's a such thing as bisexual virgins. So you don't ever have to have sex to be a bisexual or to be non-hetero. And I'm like, wow, she just redefined it in her own fucking way. I just know that I would never be given, nor do I want to, because that's how secure I always been. about who I am. But I would never be given that room to do something like that and to get and play in y'all faces and say, there's no way that I'm homosexual because I would never be in a relationship with men. Yeah, I will be skull dragged because that's what the haters are waiting for. It's like these people around here waiting for me. It's like, don't wait, don't hold your breath and never come for me. Let me look in the chat. Oh, before I go, Tracy, when you go live again, making it. This is okay. To each their own. Oh yes, to each their own. She was mistaken sexual preference with commitment. Exactly. Those are good words, Vibrant. Yeah. And I mean, you could say to each their own, but I guess what's problematic is just, I guess with Vibrant just pointing out just the whole altering of established terms and definitions. Where do people think they get to do that at? That's what I'm just saying. That's all I'm questioning. It's like, yeah, I see how you slid that in. And so, like people, I mean, it is true, but people point out like how heterosexual males are hypocritical, like just about how they view homosexual males versus homosexual females. But I'm just saying, like some women, it's not just the heterosexual males. Like some women kind of carry on that same type of thinking, you know. And like people only point to like the heterosexual males as if they're the only one with that hypocrisy. Like there are women here that are bisexual. I'm not gonna name no names. I think y'all know. Actually, it's more than two that I know of, but who are bisexual who will not be with a bisexual man. So, but I'm sure it's more than those two or three that I'm talking about. So yeah, the hypocrisy is everywhere. But I'm gonna go to the trade shit. This is what I brought y'all over. It's really nothing juicy, but I see that a lot of people like they get to weigh in their thoughts, put their 2 cents, and like the whole trade discussions, what it is, what it ain't, who they been with, the times they came into trade, what's said to be trade. I guess by people that use those terms. I don't really talk like that, but like it's not. I don't think it's like a part of my individual vocabulary. Like, but like it depends on the company. If I got before a same gender loving person and they spoke like that, I'm not gonna pretend like it's alien to me or it's foreign to me. Like yeah, like I could entertain the discussion. And truthfully, what it is that I know. But so I made a I had a guest on, and I made a joke, and I think that Vibrant picked up on it. And I think Vibrant tried to call me out, but I had this little inside joke thing going on with Molly, where I call everything trade. Like sometimes y'all, if I see him in the chat, I'd be like, "Oh shit, like let me go, like the trade is coming," or like, or like I'll just say anything. But anyway, I noticed he missed my live in which I had a special guest, and my special guest wasn't the trade, but you know, just to be extra like I am, and to do that little inside funny shit, how I talked to Maui. When I told him about that, he needs to catch up on this live with the special guest, Helmet Head, that special guest, shit, I forget the whole name of it, but there you go. I told him that I had the trade on. And it was like an inside joke. And Vibrant like called it. It was said in the chat, you guys typed in the chat. And Vibrant called. And yeah, like it was a good catch too, because I don't think some people would have known, but like he's not. But that's what I said it was, simply because it was a fucking and I like to be stupid at times and say stupid shit. But so trade, how I seen the term being used, I do want to say I am not trade. And some people had tried to make me out to be that. I guess they call themselves fighting or hitting or swinging, taking pot shots. But I am not trade and really not like trade. Like I'm nowhere close to trade. But I'm not going to attempt to define it, but I'm gonna give y'all a composite sketch and how I've seen same gender loving males use it to identify these characters. And yes, I sure like people have come like in my whole fucking like experience, adult sexual experience. Like yeah, I felt like I've come into them. Like so, like yeah, like I do like feel like it's people that I know of in my head that would fit like the definition or at least the composite sketch of what people say trade is. But first of all, a lot of them, this may not be the definition, but a lot of them come with insecurities, you know. So like other people would call them trade. A trade really would not call themselves a trade. And I and from my experience, because I've offered this question here years ago, and I even asked James, and I think he thought the opposite of me because I hold on that trade would never self-identify themselves as trade, but I think James may have thought otherwise. But yeah, like they will not like it's always someone outside of themselves saying like, "Yo, there's a trade, like that's trade over there, or that's my trade, or who you talking about, my ex trade or my trade ex or whatever." Like, but you know, like these people who are identified to be his trade, they would never call themselves that or identify as that. I don't even know if they would answer to that. They might even get offended, even though like, well, it actually could be an offensive term because I think there's more negatives than it is positives, and I think the only so-called positive, not the only, but I guess most of the only positives that come with the term would be from like certain homosexuals that like that type. You know, if you want to put a a label on it, like I'm gonna say like the bad boy type. Not that that's the only thing that comes with it, but some people may like yeah, like people that go against the grain or people who are non-conformists in that way. But a trade person is also someone that would trade that I've learned that would trade sexual favors um for like some type of monetary gain. Yeah, and you'll find that. So yeah, I guess if a person is gay for pay, they don't necessarily have to be gay, even though they may, because I guess the money is the motivation. I think there's a lot of not a lot, but I can think of some examples of what I would call like artificial, like factors or artificial circumstances that would make a person who's not truly gay turn towards the same sex. Prison is one of them. I think money is another one. I think and maybe in this day and time, clout may be one. It depends. Like, do y'all know the makeup dude Jeffrey from YouTube? Like, they got the millions of money and all that shit. I don't know if you guys ever see like some of the boyfriends that he come out with, or some of the questionable men that he come out with. But yeah, so that's yeah, like who will get with him, you know, for some months just to break off and then launch themselves. Like, I don't know if this is an opportunist and shit like that, but I do believe that I know that gay for pay is a thing. I just don't think it's a big thing. And just, I don't necessarily and yes, there is some opportunities out there, people who are hungry for a come up. And who knows what their circumstances may be, but they may be like drug addicts. Like looking for that next hit and you know for opportunity to do some shit. But yeah, I don't necessarily see these people as gay. But yeah, like just because they do that because of the what I would call like these artificial factors. Is trade gay? Sometimes they are. Is trade non-hetero? Sometimes they are. From what I've seen, sometimes they are. Some of them is closeted as fuck. And never even wanted they never even had like the experience of having the thought of coming out. I'm not talking about the process of coming out, but they don't even want they never really had the thought, the private thought with they themselves and whatever by themselves, like if they were possibly non-hetero. Like so some of these people have like issues, conflicts, and issues too. So yeah, like, but they still may play with the same sex, like in between, and take on these things. this opportunity to date a male, they might do that. But it may not even go as far as that. It may be them like going places to get the dicks up. To be honest, I think it was Dimples that introduced us to the glory hole in the sector. You know, so you know, so and yeah, like I don't really want to share like too much of my personal experience. I don't know if it's gonna help, but I'm just saying like what's trade, what's said to be trade, what's not said. I mean, what can be trade, I guess, or whatever. But I think these people are normally like hyper masculine. Do they have to be? I don't think so. But I think they're like normally hyper masculine. I think the rules go like this from how I heard people use it. I feel like it's racialized. I feel like the only people that same gender loving men call trade are like blacks or Hispanics. This is what I see. I never really see them like talking about the Asian trade and look at that Caucasian trade over there. Like I don't see this shit. I don't. So this brings me to the conclusion that it's like a darker, it's a label that's to be applied to darker people. And I feel like it's a label to be applied to like younger people because they don't apply it to like old. They don't talk about senior trade. I never heard this shit. Like, so I'm like, so can you be like 40 or 50 or 60 in trade? Because I don't see them applying it to. It seems to be like a younger thing, like from you could be like in your 18, okay, your early 20s, maybe 30s, maybe I'm gonna take it beyond 30. I'm gonna say 35. Like, but this is how I see it being used, like, and who gets to be called trade, who gets to be identified as trade, and yeah, like it's this whole pathology, and we all know about the I mean, they may be some of these trade. All right, let me give you the role or the way people talk about it. I guess they play both sides, right? For some, right? So these people may take on dealings or interactions. Okay, how did Jada put Jada Pinkett put it? I forget how she said it. She didn't say situations. Oh, entanglements. There you go. They may entangle with the same sex, but they may also have dealings with females. Regionally here, we call that dipping and dabbing sometimes. That's like that goes back to they still use that shit today. Yeah, they may do that, but then some of them again maybe just so conflicted they may not even have dealings with females, but you may think that because they may be hyper masculine, and they may tell you that too. Because I have experience that I can point to, like in my like where I was due. People like, yeah, I got kids and I got a wife and this is why I can't do this. And then like when everything comes out in the wash, like you don't have kids, I'm the one with kids. Like what the fuck? Like you just tried. Well, I don't have no wife, but you just tried to paint yourself into like. So maybe there was another reason why you didn't want like the close contact, like phone calls and stuff like that. But like, so some people would just like have you, because some people are just hyper masculine as fuck, and you never know what type of walk they have. But it's just like, yo, like you lie for years. Like here it is, like you're just a homosexual, I guess. Like I don't know what the fuck you are, but you don't like females. So, but you had me thinking that when I first met you, like, and I don't know why. Like maybe you thought that that would make me more attractive to you, and that kind of works opposite with me personally, because um, it's not a deal breaker, but it's pretty much a deal. Like I don't fuck with bisexuals. I really don't. Like we talking about like what I would choose like to seriously pursue. Like if I'm like getting in a relationship, like it wouldn't be a bisexual at all. Like, I can't do nothing for you, man. It really would. Like I'm not as flexible as people think I am. Like, but yeah, like for a cut up, probably it depends on your role. But like to do anything serious, like me, like seriously carrying, all, like no, us being together, no. Like I would not, and I don't think that's hypocritical on my part because I'm not bisexual. You know? And that's another thing that people have tried to make, and that's never come from me up. Yeah, and the trade thing. Like, but yeah, I'm not even close to it. I'm not even close to it. I'm as gay as they come. And the masculine thing, and I'm not all masculine too. So yeah, like yeah, I'm both. Like I'm both masculine and feminine. And when I say feminine, I'm not saying like you guys are gonna catch me like in women's attire. But femininity goes beyond something you can purchase out of a fucking store. So I know like I have feminine traits. Yeah. And it may not be something you purchase, but it's fucking within. And it's not like this thing like that people cannot see. Like yeah, like I don't like in person, like, you know, when I interact with people, it's not something that they just can't see. Like yeah, like because I don't hide it. Yeah, but like it can come in your speech, you know, what you're prepped to say. All this is perceived as masculine or feminine. Your expressions, like seriously, what you choose to talk about. All that shit can be judged. I'm not I'm not saying like all of it's gonna land on you with like accuracy. But like yeah, like people perceive all that shit. You know what I mean? Like seriously. Even down like to the topics you open to talk about. You know what I mean? So yeah, I have a soft side, and I'm not 100% masculine, and I do not want to be. So yeah, but that's what I know of the trade. Um, People that sell themselves, people that are hidden, conflicted within their sexuality, shit like that. That would take on all of these M to M, male to male situations, but never truly really acknowledge. And some of them are violent, Some of them are violent, like a lot of them are violent. Like you could trigger them really, really quick just by something you say. But no, like I'm not after. But there are like same gender loving gay males that find that to be a commodity. So that's what I'm talking about. Like in the same way that women find bad boys. Those women that chase bad boys don't say you don't. Don't say you don't. That's why you always get caught saying, well, yeah, I know he did do for me what another man didn't do for me, but he was just too nice. Yeah, I hear women saying, what the fuck is too nice? What the? To me, in my mind, there's no such thing. So, like, what do you mean? You want to find another adjective, but nice ain't it. You know, you don't want a brother to respect you. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not talking about having a bitch. You know what I mean? I'm talking about someone that honors you. Well, he honored me too much. I need a bad boy. Someone that disregards me. Look, I'm not going, but so this is what I know of the trade. Let me see. Any how you know? Oh yes. Jeffrey fucking Star. Like you guys gotta and why don't he go for his own Caucasoid persuasion? He seems not to. He be reaching for these brothers and like I'm seeing a lot of like black men and I would see maybe a Latino, but I don't really follow the Skeletor like that. Like dude look weird. He looks like a fossil. And yeah, like that was dragged in chalk. Like, and then that whole Marilyn Manson thing going on. Like, he's evil. Anyway, but yeah, the brothers, yeah, like, a lot of them are questionable. And damn, I don't want to get the names wrong. But, yeah, a lot of these people are questionable, but some of them have been with him. And they have a trade-ish appeal. I don't know whether they trade. You have to really know somebody in their real life to know that they are. You know what I mean? I can remember when this dude I don't know if he was straight, but yeah, like On the surface, yes, he would be, because at least that's how he tried to appeal himself to me. But he eyed me down and shit like that, and I of course, like I do him back down, and I was like, oh, he looks like one of them gym queens. This is what I said in my head. He couldn't hear what I said in my head. All he can see is me responding back to his eye down thing. That he could just see that I am there. So he turned around and act like he was gonna come to me. So I stopped and I met him halfway. And when I came up, he was like, "What's up?" And he actually asked me to pay him for sex. I was like, "What? Are you kidding me?" He actually, yeah. I said, "Oh, you gonna pay me?" Of course, I flipped it back around, and then he grew quiet. Okay. I mean, that's it. But where did that come in at? Like, I'm only responding to your eyes. You are eyeing me now. Why are you eyeing me now? I was about to bring the loot. You know, but me bringing my wallet, nah. Like, nope. I hope I never like get to that condition. I don't even know. Cause some people be like, "Yo, I'm not that age to be paying for pussy." Like, I just hope like that I keep myself the way I am. Like, and as I age well, and it like I don't know if it's an age though, but people put it at an age. I just hope I'm not at that condition. Okay, that oompa loompish condition. Okay, with lost hair and ball mouths and shit like that. Like where I'm suffering and like feel like I can't go on the market and just pick me up. But right now I'm good. People talk shit, of course, like online they'll talk shit, but you walk into an environment, let's say an all things in the loving environment, you'll be reminded over and over again that you're still hot, okay, and you're nowhere near your end, because they jump for it. That's the game they play, and they do it on here too. Even the changes the loving males in this sector, they pretend like they so good, and they not. Because when push comes to shove, like when them stories come out, we see that you was sucking dick at the pole thing, like when it was time to, or that y'all pulled over on the side of the road. Remember? Okay, over the river and through the woods. So these things do come out. A lot of y'all thirsty as fuck. Uh, yes, y'all spready wide, but they act like they too good. I don't get it. Like, I think I counted like 6 homosexuals in my over 4 years staying here that have actually reached out, like not to have me bring the loot, but not to have them bring the loot, but just to like say like, hey, I recognize you. Like, hey, like I see you exist. Like, how are you? Like, and I appreciate y'all say. Like, but that was it. But yeah, I even got my issues with these. Oh, stereo. um, I think maybe the white people think that nah, because do they have a concept of trade like that? So no, I don't know. Maybe this is confusing. So the white people on stereo, they tried to exclude me from a conversation about homosexuals. When I kept telling them over and over and over, I had a place here because it was about homosexuals. But just because I wasn't willing to do the LGBT thing, it wasn't an LGBT discussion, it was homosexual discussion they were talking about. They kept trying to ask me out about, well, why don't we get the homosexuals to chime in, because we don't want your voice to oversaturate theirs. I keep telling y'all I am. Like, but just because I'm not going with everything, like, I didn't get it, was so confused. I'm like, yo, like, I keep repeating that I am. Like, I didn't know what they was asking me to do. Like, I think they like when they throw all them letters, and I think they feel empowered or something. I don't know, but they thought they could. Like, and yeah, you got it. My voice count. My voice count. And maybe it was a thing of excluding the black voice too, because I was the only black voice in that discussion. But they kept saying, well, we want to give the homosexuals a chance to speak. And I'm like, yo, but that's why I'm here though. What the fuck are you talking about? Like my whole thing is like just because I acknowledge that I'm of that group does not mean like I'm on this whole big LGBT thing. Like because I'm really not a trans. Like, I'm not asexual. I'm not lesbian. I'm not bisexual. So I can only relate, like to my community. And they pull a stunt on you by calling all of like the LGBT and all them letters the community, as if it represents like one thing. Shit gets all mucky and fucked up. Like shit get all distorted and convoluted as normal. Like once they all usher those things in. But this chick was truly, and I don't even know where she fit into the LGBT. To be honest, was she homosexual? Because she sure was entertaining the homosexual conversation. But, yo, for all I knew, remember here in the sector, y'all remember this character, especially people that I don't want to bring his name up because the person who I'm going to name, I'm just going to describe this person. It really had nothing to do with this person, so I'm not going to even bring them up. But remember the woman or man, because remember, at first she would not tell y'all whether she was a woman or a man, playing in your face, starting as a subscriber and saying, but yeah, I'm gonna create my page, not letting y'all know whether she was a woman or man. But remember, she kept throwing herself in the LGBT discussions, and then like months later, when everything wore down, she was saying, I'm not gay. And then you guys would say, well, you're bisexual. She said, I'm not bisexual. You guys say, well, I'm trans. She said, I'm not trans. And he was like, wait a minute, you said you were. And she corrected y'all, play in all of your faces. And she was like, I didn't say that. I said I was LGBT. And I am because I'm asexual. So she got to weigh in all them discussions about bisexuality, and you guys thought that she was speaking from first-hand experience. She got to weigh in all those lesbian discussions, and you guys thought that she was speaking from first-hand experience. She got to weigh in all that shit, and then she turned around, played in all y'all faces, and said, y'all thought she was LGBT the whole time, and then in the end, she told you, I am because I'm asexual. I said, you better do it. You better do it. She played in all your fucking faces. I think y'all know what I'm talking about. Yeah. And she wouldn't even tell y'all her sex. Something about, I don't think it's important. But I'm like, oh, I didn't know that that's something that people shy away from. But she tried to make herself so against the gender binary. At one point, y'all was confused. Y'all were like, well, should we call you they? And when she said no, it became even more confusing. It's like, oh, so it's not a non-binary thing? What are you doing? But she played in your faces. She wanted to be a triple minority. I would assume that she was a female. I'm assuming this, and she was black. But like I said, remember she never confirmed this shit. But she has become a I think she did become a content creator. I never really checked that out like that. I think she may have opened the page. She probably don't do lives or uploads to that. But I think y'all remember, like if you think about like what was it 2020, 2021? So okay, when she made her little debut, first on the panels, this person, everybody's like, who is this person? They kind of sound like a hybrid between a man and a woman. Like, what are you? Okay, so that's my discussion, you guys, about trade. You guys can share me your experiences in the damn comment section. Let me see. I'd love to hear you laugh. It is so infectious. Hey, Random, you need to get up on here and say, let me see if I have any more. I might have a video. Nah, I'm not seeing it. And I'll trade get down. Yeah, they're very insecure. Like I've seen like Trey, well maybe he wasn't, but someone that I identify as Trey coming to this fucking all gay bar. Nothing but men. Stay there for over 30 minutes. And someone not made advances on him. He probably took it as advances, but I heard it because it happened right near me. But the person complimented him while he was in a gay bar, enjoying himself getting drinks with nothing but males. You know, them playing songs like throw that boy, Boosie, throw that, like he chilling. Someone complimented. He knocked the dude square out. He knocked the dude square out. He was just that insecure. I think he was drunk too, but he knocked the dude out. It was little words. He almost did it as if he was on the streets minding his business or with his wife, and a gay man came up to him. Like, he had no regard for the fact that he was on the streets, but wasn't satisfied with being on the streets, but took his ass into a gay bar that obviously was. Placards and flags all throughout the bar, nothing but men. And dude just complimented him. He didn't. It's a difference between making an advance and complimenting someone. He couldn't. He was that insecure and fragile. He couldn't take the kind of knock the dude straight up. Got up out of the bar and left, and ruined his night. Now you ain't finished your drink for what? What was that about? So I don't know if he was a basher or something like that, but you'll be surprised the extent that a basher would do. I know some bashers are just that obsessed with same-sex-loving men that they will set something up like that. They'll go on the bar, you know, and it don't have to be on the bed. Like if it's enough hate, they'll do it. They'll be like, I'm gonna go on there and mind my fucking business, and I dare anybody. they'll be having this discussion with themselves. Like, and I dare motherfucker. Like, yeah. So yeah. So I've seen that. Okay. And no, I don't even want to go into that. But that was a weak bar. Because I know other bars where that could not have went down the way it did. But it went down and he got up and left. And dude was truly knocked out. Like he was truly knocked out. I was like, oh, like that, you know the shit you see in the movies? You know what I mean? Like the one punch knockout shit. I mean, on the floor, arms up and shit. Okay. But I'm about to hop off, you guys. Thank you so much for stopping in. I enjoyed you guys. Let me see if there's some last minute things to read. Yeah, I gotta get Mr. Oh, okay, and fed for work. I know that's right. Thank you guys so much for stopping in. Please like the video. If you guys aren't subscribe to me. I'm gonna cue up some music and be out of here shortly. Yeah, so like I predicted, you guys, the people who let me keep it to the people that I feel responded to my poll. Though all of those people that said that they choose their attraction, they didn't show up. The only person that did was Vibrant, who made sense of it. But Vibrant couldn't have represented all them damn accounts. See, these people don't show up. Because you know, I don't know the and then also we found out that Vibrant was well, as I stated the first time, she had applied some things to it that I wasn't even considering in my question, if that makes sense. You know, but I do know that people can fall in love with a person's personality. You know, but that's not the first line of attraction. You know, that's like later in the game. You know, I think it has to be some draw, and granted, the draw does not always have to be physical, but there has to be some draw, like something that's seeable or visible though. Like I'm talking about, like in this scenario, I tried to get them to commit to, like when you come into a room, like to a party. Like you open the door, bam, everybody there, you there. You see somebody attracted from across the room. You know, or someone that draws you in across the room that makes you want to know what that personality is like, you know. But at that first glance, it has to be something for me, you know. And it doesn't always have to be physical, but well, It always doesn't have to be a feature. Let me put it like that. But yeah, like if you watching, it has to be like physical. Like it could be the way, like when you open the doors, like the way you saw a chick moving or the way she was dancing. Like it could have been that. You know, it could have been their attire and how they put themselves together. You know what I mean? Which is not necessarily a feature, like what I'm talking about, like attractive physical features. I think we all judge these things, so, like, you know, but you're not gonna always be able to smell a person from across the room and oh, they smell nice. Oh, he's so thoughtful. You ain't gonna know that shit. Like, oh, like we have so much in common. You know, you just gonna be seeing like a bulge or a fat ass. Like, that's what you're gonna be looking at. Like, you know, like you know, then you get to these later things. Like, what can I make out here? All right, well, I'm out of here, you guys. Thanks for the chat. Um, you'll see me when you see me. I don't want to make no commitments, but either early in the day or later tonight, because we're here in the morning. Let's get it, yo.